So good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. I will start stealing the beginning from Andrea Di Salvo, so saying who I am and what I'm doing here, if Andrea allows me. I am Luigi de Russis. As Lucia said, I am an associate professor here at Politecnico. I am a computer engineer by background, so not a designer, unfortunately, but I am a human-computer interaction researcher, let's say by vocation. So I'm within friends in this context. So this is who I am. And what I'm doing here, I will, as Lucia said, co-supervise with her this PARJAI4HEALTH part of the project, and Lucia was kind enough to ask me to join her project on this, so thank you again, Lucia. And I mostly work, moving on what I'm doing here, I mostly work with these people. These are my collaborators, my colleagues in my research group, and we work, of course, on human-computer interaction, mostly from a computer engineering, computer science perspective, of course, but we work on topics like digital well-being, overuse of technology, and human-centered AI, especially in the context of education, of creation of content. And so that's how we also contribute, and I also can contribute on this topic and on this specific use case. I'm also here to present actually the work of a company, let's say, of this region, of Piedmont region, that will actually be providing data, information, and infrastructure for this use case in the PARJAI project. And I wanted to start echoing what Lucia already said, partially, for the relevance of AI, consequences of AI, and especially for health. And we can see, and we have seen recently, and Lucia mentioned one case of suicide that is still connected to self-care, mental health, as a way in which AI as a chatbot, ChatGPT, was involved. But we see recently many efforts connected to this topic. So for instance, I pick here 3 examples that pop up from Google News in the last weeks. So first, we have the World Health Organization that decided recently to launch a technically advisory group on artificial intelligence for health. So this is recognized not only in a research perspective, but also from a practitioner and a medical and global perspective as something to discuss, to do something about, specifically for health. If we move from global to local, but in Australia, in this case, we have reports that say that we need to do better for indigenous-led approach, again, to AI in healthcare. So also this is something that echoes with what Lucia was saying in the presentation, and it's totally fit with the use case in the project. And other news paper provides like advice on how to safely use AI for health questions. This was October 22nd, so yesterday, basically. So there are interests, there is rumor, there is news, there is material that pop-ups on how to use, why we can build a better AI for health and well-being in a more general sense. So this use case is perfectly fit in this context. And I was mentioning before, this use case will also be seeing the collaboration of this company, let's say, that is Azienda Sanitaria Zero of the region that we have, the Piemonte region. That is a regional initiative established by a regional law, which has these 4 main focuses. So it manages the network of emergency and urgent care for citizens and people living in the region in terms of infrastructure, data, information, etc. It also handles the medical emergency service by helicopters the single European number access for non-urgent care, and also the single European emergency number for people in this region. So it has a really a perspective on what happens in the entire regional assets. And indeed, it oversees 18 different organizations of various size, from big, medium to small emergency department, all across the area where we live it. And with two characteristics, that 3 out of 4 cities are located, 3 out of 4 cities are located in mountain areas, with difficulties in reaching people, in movement, etc., especially during maybe winter or in particular situation, also personal situation. And of course, the other thing is that 34% of the population in the region is over 60. So there is a growing number of people that becomes older, and this is true for a good part of the world, but especially in this area of Italy as well. The Azienda Sanitaria Zero, that unfortunately could not be here today, and that's why I'm talking to you, has actually some project already in the field of emergency and urgent care that will be strongly linked with the work done in this use case. And the project that they have is a website plus a mobile application that is for exchanging information between the emergency service and the department, so the centralized, let's say, emergency service and the department, the local department, so that people can be redirected to less crowded facilities, both people, individual people, and also ambulances as well, so that they could provide a better service and take care of people more quickly and more efficiently. At least that's the intention and the theory. And within the project, what this Azienda Sanitaria Zero will do, well, starting from the main social issues, some of them I already mentioned to you, so this increase in population that is over 60, but also shortage of healthcare service in the outpatient system, also tackled partially by the previous project that was in the previous slide, together with a higher demand for immediate care, again, linked to an increased over 60 population, an increase in the impoverishment of the population, and seasonal epidemic peaks that still impact the healthcare system, the public healthcare system that we have. Starting from these social issues, these use cases are 2 different objectives in the vertical component that Luigi was presenting before. The first one will be oriented towards the development of an assistant, AI-based assistant for pre-screening of symptoms to be actually deployed by hospital to reduce the problem of our crowded emergency care units. So again, to provide a better and more efficient service to citizens and people that needs. And the second one, the second objective that is complementary to this one, is actually to use this inclusive participatory design methodology to think deeply and take into account deeply structural social problems that are also reflected in some discriminatory outcomes when artificial intelligence is in the loop, is included in this system. So this second project will also explore these boundary objects that, again, Luigi was mentioning a few minutes ago, to support a more equitable and meaningful participation of all stakeholders in the design process through, again, these inclusive participatory design methods and these AI symptom pre-screening assistant. So the goal of this use case is mostly done like this, and with the fundamental help and support of this Azienda Sanitaria Zero that oversee, again, all the facility, the care facility in this region. And with this, I will leave the stage to Giovanni Zenzini for the second use case.